He's not good enough. And this window, surely we've got to replace this. We've got to replace this guy. I've defended him so many times, but he's not showing me anything where I can defend him.
I went from strict to stricto, strict. Understand? Only person I owe is myself. Strict.
Yes, people. Welcome back to the channel. Big Stricto here. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, whatever it is that these other YouTubers tell you to do, but do it for me. The match reaction: Tottenham 1, Arsenal 0, pre-season friendly. But is there really anything as a Tottenham Arsenal friendly? I don't think so. If you watch that game, you'd have seen Saka getting kicked, Saka, a few other players, a few needless fouls that could cause injuries. I'll be honest, I don't think pre-seasons should have a game or a fixture of Arsenal-Tottenham of this magnitude, because it's never friendly and there's a high risk of injuries happening for both sides, let's be real. But I digress. Let's start with the starting lineup in this game. So we started with David Raya, Ben White, Saliba, Kivior, Lewis Skelly, Norgard, Rice, Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, and Havertz. That first half was woeful. Honestly, that first half was woeful. We weren't defending well and we weren't attacking well. We lacked a lot of creativity. And I know, listen, it's pre-season and it's about getting players up to the levels and their fitness. But again, with the added fact that it's a North London derby, I'd expect more from the boys, you know. Defensively, like set pieces, I've never seen us so bad. Honestly, Spurs could have scored like 3 or 4 from set pieces. In fact, there was one where direct Pedro Porro took it and it almost went in. There was no protection for Raya, and Raya was moved out of the way. The ball hit the post, and they hit the post a few times, but it was a really poor first half. Now, obviously, the eyes would have been on Havertz because he got the start over Gyökeres, which is obvious because Gyökeres only joined a few days ago, so hasn't been fit as the other boys have been, so there was no chance of him starting. Havertz, I think, played well, decent, held the ball well. You can see that the size he's put on is allowing him to, you know, to throw himself about. But ultimately, you're there to score goals. And I remember him having, was it the 8th or 9th minute? The ball coming to him. And I think a striker hits that first time. I think even Marino probably hits that first time and scores. But Havertz, because we know he's not technically gifted in those areas there, wants to take an extra touch. And before you know it, defenders come back and block it. And yeah, and that goes to waste. Martinelli, I'll have to say this is concerning for me. And I know I keep saying, I know it's pre-season, but it seems like we're seeing the same patterns again from Martinelli. Pedro Porro is scared of your pace, so he's on the back foot. Why aren't you taking him down the line? Or why aren't you doing different? Like everyone can read what you're going to do. Pedro Porro, that was probably the easiest defensive performance he's had to put up. You know, and he was probably man of the match for Tottenham today because it was so easy defending against Martinelli. And if this is the form he's going to take into the season, I'm sorry, I can no longer defend this guy. Maybe it's time for us to drop him. He does great work defensively. We know that. But your primary job is your attacking. And I'm sorry, he's not good enough. He's not good enough. And this window, surely we've got to replace this. We've got to replace this guy. I've defended him so many times, but he's not showing me anything where I can defend him. Now, the season might start and he might have a blinder, but I'm not confident enough to say he's the one that's going to lead us into any form of glory. I'm sorry. We saw it 2 seasons ago or 3 seasons ago now where he was on fire. That might have been fluke. That might have been fluke. He's been at the club now 6 seasons. And there's things about him that I appreciate. Like I said, his defensive work. But sometimes his decision making, Max Darman comes on, has 10 minutes. And he done more than Martinelli did. Reece Nelson comes on that side, does more than Martinelli does. Maybe it is time to start looking elsewhere. And it saddens me because I love the kid. I really love the kid, but maybe we got to start moving him on because other players are coming on who don't even have a future at Arsenal, who don't really have nothing to play for, and are yet still playing and still giving energy and still giving it what they can to make something happen. And he's not. It's worrying. It's worrying. Now, the one, again, Arteta again, let me even say this, like, it's pre-season, players needing fitness. Why take so long to make your subs? It wasn't until what, the 75th, 77th minute, he's making subs. I don't understand it. We're seeing the same patterns from last season. Saka played 75 minutes in pre-season. 75 minutes, comes off injured. At what point do you protect your star players? At what point? And I know I know it's Tottenham, but let's be honest, we still need to wrap Saka in cotton wool. We still need to wrap Saka in cotton wool. And he comes off injured, and then Gyökeres gets what? 10 minutes. We don't really get to see much of him because, you know, the creative side isn't really there. And I must admit, the second half, towards the end of the game, on the 60th minute onwards, we started to play well. We started to show some intent, started to attack, you know, start to put on Tottenham. But again, like I said, that creativity we're going to need to go in the market, because we can't just leave that to Odegaard alone. Because Tottenham at some point was just playing with 10 men behind the ball, 11 men behind the ball, should I say. And we just couldn't break them down. Nothing was happening down the flanks. Dalman today came on. He played well, very direct, but he wasn't as influential, as impactful as he was against Newcastle. That's because Tottenham just camped on that 18-yard box. They just camped, you know, made it very difficult. So overall, it was, I mean, the only positive I can say is it's a pre-season. That's the only positive. Like, no points lost, no points gained. Do you know what I mean? Tottenham fans will brag because of the goal. It was a very good goal. I take nothing away from that goal, to be honest. It was a good goal. Other than that, like, I felt it was a foul, you know. And, you know, we still got some players that didn't feature today. Timber, Gabby, Marino. Did Marino come on? Did Marino come on? Yeah, Marino came on. But yeah, I just felt like, just looking at that game, if you're isolating that game alone, there's a pattern of last season. There's a bitter taste of last season in that game. And you know, listen, we've still got some weeks left before our first game against United, but definitely need to bring reinforcement on that left-hand side and in that middle. Because I'm not having Martinelli. I'm sorry, people. I'm not having Martinelli. I have backed him. Look at my videos. I have backed Martinelli. And like I said, I know it's pre-season, but Reece Nelson's coming on, who's out of the club soon, and he's playing with more intention. You'd think he was playing for his future at Arsenal. He's already on his way out. And that's alarming. That is alarming. Trossard came on. He got injured. Didn't really see much of him for too long. I think it was on for about 3-4 minutes and he came off again. So yeah, I think we have to address that left-hand side. And also, and I know everyone talks about that left-hand side, but we need that central midfield area addressing as well. Because if Odegaard is all we've got, then we've got nothing. People, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Whatever it is that these YouTubers tell you to do, but do it for me. And I'd like to thank people who've got to 6K now. Let's see if we can try to get to 10K, people. Let's try to get to 10K. That's the aim. So if you're watching this, if you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the likes as per usual, but hit the subscribe. Let's go.